Hello everyone, this is Miss Brittany. Before we build our own magical miniature dioramas, we're going to read a story about a magical miniature garden. We're going to be reading And Then the Seed Grew by Marianne DeBoo. Once there was a garden. It was an ordinary garden filled with flowers and plants where many creatures lived all year round. Some lived above ground, like Mr. Gnome and Little Jack, and some lived underground, like Yvonne the Mole, the Field Mouse family, Polly the Earthworm, and Colette the Ant. Everyone was quite content, until... One morning, out of the blue, something fell from the sky. At first, no one took notice except for an unhappy Jack, whose hat was crushed by the falling thing. The thing was a seed, and soon the seed began to grow. With a crick, its seed coat split open, and out popped a small root. Underground, Colette and her friends were annoyed. The root was blocking their path. If they were going to arrive home in time for tea, they would need to find a way around. Yvonne noticed a small crack in her bathroom ceiling. No cause for worry, she thought. A few taps of my hammer should do the trick. But no sooner had she fetched her toolbox than disaster struck. There was now a root poking out of a hole where the small crack had been. Yvonne quickly sprung into action to fix it. At the same moment, Mr. Gnome noticed a new plant above ground. "What's this growing in the garden?" he wondered. Or just count me down. Now. He wanted to ask Colette, but she was too busy digging new tunnels around the plant's roots. As the days passed, the plant continued to grow. Yvonne was growing more and more upset. She was on her third round of repairs. Things were much better in the Field Mouse house. No sooner had Susie made a wish and blown out her birthday candles than her party was ruined by the invading roots. As for the ants, all of the detours they had to take to go about their work in the garden had left them exhausted. Night and day, the plant grew. Yvonne gave up on her renovations. The bathroom was a mess, and she was worn out. The Field Mouse house had been overrun. They had no choice but to move. All of the neighbors lent a hand, even Polly, who usually kept to himself. Everyone was fed up. Underground and above ground, the plant was wreaking havoc all through the garden. Yvonne's bathroom was permanently out of order. Mr. Gnome was trapped in his house. The ants were detoured dizzy, and the poor field mice had to move yet again. Something had to be done. The garden residents held an emergency meeting. "My bathroom is unusable," complained Yvonne. "Where will we live?" Mr. Field Mouse worried. "We can't get home," cried the ants. "This is unbearable," exclaimed Mr. Gnome, who had finally managed to escape. They all agreed that there was only one thing to do: cut the plant down. Everyone had a task. Yvonne, the expert tunnel digger, would excavate the roots. The tireless ants would eat and mulch the leaves, and the sharp-toothed mice would cut the stalk. Just as Mr. Field Mouse prepared to take the first bite, someone called out, "Wait!" It was Little Jack. "Is this plant really so terrible?" Jack asked gently. "Hasn't its shade kept Mr. Gnome's house cool and comfortable? And wouldn't the field mouselings have great fun climbing its branches? From its highest leaves, the ants could easily map out their roots in the garden. And don't forget its fruit." "Fruit?" cried everyone in surprise. Then, looking up, they discovered tomatoes. Inspired by Jack's words, the garden residents decided to leave the plant be. Soon, they all learned to appreciate its many merits and were quite content once again. Yvonne and the field mice were glad to be neighbors. Colette and the ant colony now had a vast network of tunnels and a handy lookout in the plant's highest leaves. And Polly, he had made a friend. So the following spring, it was with great excitement that the garden inhabitants made another discovery. 3 new seeds. The end.
Hi kids, it's Miss Sandy, and today we're going to work on a magical miniature diorama. I have a bunch of stuff here which you will get some of everything in your kit. First thing we're going to do is put some dirt in. You can put as much or as little as you want. Now, if you want to put a house in your diorama, you can build your own house. I have a couple here. This was with toilet paper roll. This was with a Kleenex box. We even made a tent, little tent, or just a crazy one. Or you could make something that looks like a cave, because we have a lot of different things that you can put in your diorama. We also have some plants here. Now, I don't know how this is going to work here. I'm going to need more dirt. But forest. Now I'm going to put my little house in here. And then I can put these little pretty trees next to them if I want. Now you can just decorate however you want to. I'll probably cut this a little bit shorter, but I also have some moss that you can put in there wherever you want. I also have some sand. Now I thought I'd put some sand around the house. And then I think I'm going to make it like this over here, because we also have blue sand. And I'm going to make some water over here. And then we have some stones, so we have all kinds of different kinds of stones that you'll get some kinds of stones in your kit. I think I'm going to use some of these, and I'm going to make a little path with my stones. I also made a little fence, but my fence I think is too big for this. I could put it around the outside, but I don't want to clutter up my thing too much. So we also are going to give you some little sticks, and you can make a fence with your little sticks if you want to. And just put them in, stick them in, and it looks like a little fence. I made a table and a bench out of sticks. I just glued them together. So I'm going to have a little bench and a table by the water. Whoops. Till I'm outside, the wind's blowing. And you guys are all going to get a little something to put on there. And we also have some really fun little creatures. Now, if you want to make yours more of a dinosaur one, you could put dinosaurs in there. We have bugs. You could put a bug on the bench. Or you can do a frog in the water. Some of you might get a horsey. You could put a pony back here somewhere. And I even have this little thing. You can just decorate it any way you want. I even have a little turtle over here I can throw in here. So depending on what you get and what you can find around your house, you can make your diorama as precious for you as you want. Have fun!